Michel Barnier is preparing to pave the way for a last-minute Brexit compromise by offering to further intensify trade talks with Britain. The Brussels diplomat told European capitals that considerable progress had been made putting pen to paper on the legal text. But he conceded they had failed to make a breakthrough on the key sticking points of access to British fishing waters, future common standards and policing the final agreement. In a private meeting with EU 27 ambassadors tonight, Mr. Barnier hinted agreements won't be found until closer to the mid-November deadline. The Frenchman announced he would travel to London for further trade talks with Britain on Sunday. Brussels sources said Mr. Barnier claimed Lord Frost, the Prime Minister's Brexit envoy, was deliberately running down the clock in order to secure a number of concessions from the bloc. Senior diplomatic sources, however, insisted it is too late for brinkmanship in the trade talks. One EU diplomat told Express, one would have thought a fortnight from the deadline that more movement under the radar would be apparent, but so far the Commission hasn't been able to tell us that things are moving. Is this a brinkmanship strategy? We don't know, but as a ploy to get what they want it would fail. A second source said, the Brits are deliberately running down the clock in the hope of getting what they want at the last minute, but anything can happen at 5 minutes to midnight. The diplomat insisted talks over the regulatory level playing field are stuck because of Britain's refusal to agree to joint development of future higher standards and a common definition of the current standards. In a private meeting with the European Parliament's Brexit Committee, Michel Barnier said there was a great deal of frustration amongst his team with Lord Frost's negotiating tactics. According to a source in the meeting, Mr. Barnier said, "We're seeing the British applying tactics that we are well familiar with, where they're trying to push all of the interests that they want access to our markets and then blocking any areas where we want to make headway." The Frenchman added, "The chances of no deal are increasing." Mr. Barnier told MEPs would be quite tough with Lord Frost when the pair meet in London on Sunday afternoon. Brussels is pushing for the UK to commit to the same level of environmental standards, workers' rights and state subsidies for business. UK and EU officials agreed to take a brief break before picking up formal wrangling over the trade deal in London on Sunday. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen could hold talks with Boris Johnson next week to deliver a final political push if a Brexit deal is in sight, a source said. They have just weeks to find a solution that can be signed off in time for the end of the transition period on December 31. Lord Frost said, "We've just finished 2 weeks of intensive talks with the EU. Progress made, but I agree with Michel Barnier that wide divergences remain on some core issues. We continue to work to find solutions that fully respect UK sovereignty."